religion, but we also want to participate in our community, and we want our neighbors, regardless of their faith or color. We want to be friends with them. So, and the truth is, you're not going to find us on the news because we are pretty boring people. I mean, we don't do anything too exciting, you know. But when you see the radical, regardless, that's what the news wants. They want radical. They don't want your average Muslim. And just, to remind you, we're your doctors, we're your cashiers at the grocery store. We are in every part of society. And, the more that we understand each other, and I'm so grateful that y'all have came, because this is what's going to help you understand us and us to understand you. So, thank you.
I have a few points to add, if you allow me. First of all, we are, between the six of us, we are from 5 different cultures. Culture plays an enormous role in the practice of any religion. I mean, seriously, what is considered modern in one culture may be very strict in another. I'm from Egypt. Originally, Harun is from India. Ahmed is from Yemen. Robin is American. And both you guys are from Pakistan. I mean, these are enormous differences between cultures. Whether you were born, raised here, or just came to the States, culture plays an enormous role of who you are, right? So, and it's literally that way. It just makes everybody different, the way they practice Islam. Not only that, even like I'm going to speak from where I am from. I'm from Cairo, Egypt. Even inside Cairo, we have different groups of people culturally. Each of us have their own sets of how they apply education, Islam, even other religions like Christianity and Jews as well. It's that wide a gap between every group and the other, and it makes you feel like we're all from different countries, where actually we're all from the same country. One thing, also, I believe that Islam was structured in the Quran, the verses in it, in the Arabic language specifically. Arabic language is very difficult, and it has like a lot of vocabulary with several meanings. I mean, one word, you could spend 10 years thinking it means one thing, and then only to find later that it has 5 or 6 other meanings. This was done on purpose, because people are different. So sometimes the interpretations of verses are very different from each other, and scholars have addressed that issue. Scholars who have spent their lives learning the Arabic grammar, the Arabic language, Quran sciences, hadith, which are the sayings and sayings by the Prophet, they have spent their lives studying that because of how vast there are differences in the Quran, and it's meant to be that way. It's not meant to be targeting one group of people, because we're all different. And it's meant to be a universal book and a universal religion, which talks to everyone. And of course, like if people are different within one country, then can you compare that to the entire world? So this is actually done on purpose. We're very, very different. Also education, I think it plays an enormous role. Your background, your education plays a role in how you apply religion, and we're very different, like very different majors, very different backgrounds. And as to the question of where the people on the news get their claims from, I have no idea. Really, sometimes I'm watching the news, I'm like, what? Okay. For example, there was a show, what CSI or something like that, and there was a family from Afghanistan. The Afghanistani guy was talking to his wife in Arabic. They don't speak Arabic in Afghanistan. He was talking to his wife with an Arabic dialect that was mixed between North Africa and west of Asia, which is like Lebanon. I was completely confused. And I was like, where do they get, a simple book or a dictionary would show them that they don't speak Arabic in Afghanistan. So that makes me really lose trust in what I hear, because they're not getting their facts straight. So what about, bigger issues and of political issues, and Islam did that and Muslims did that? I don't know. Please, if somebody could tell me where they get their stuff from, I'd like to know. Thank you.
We'd all like to know.
Yeah.
Do with some terminology used or not, you didn't have enough time to address during the course of this conversation. A couple of people want to know about the hijab for both, for Robin and for Marwa. What the hijab symbolizes to you, and maybe you could address, I mean, Marwa, you said you came to wearing the hijab a little bit late. Robin, you said that you converted. Maybe you could kind of talk a little bit about what led you to adopt the hijab, if that's something you're comfortable with.
It's called a hijab, it's a headscarf. And actually, you know, again, this originated with Judaism and Christianity, for the woman to cover her hair, and Islam adopted it. For me personally, when I decided, and I did not become a Muslim because I married a Muslim. I was under absolutely no pressure at all to follow my husband's faith. Actually,
about the money.
Yeah, the money, exactly. Actually, he was not even here. He was in his home country when I made that decision, so he didn't have a clue until he came home, and I told him. But for me, it was really easy, because once I decided to follow the faith, and I knew that was part of it, but of course at the beginning, you know, I was like, why do you have to wear that? And a very knowledgeable Muslim in our community said, to be a Muslim, you do not have to wear the headscarf. To be a Muslim. And so then I was able to go ahead and get past that part, because I really didn't, you know, wasn't too hip on it. But then after I became a Muslim and began to learn more about the faith, there is rules regarding it, and it is required of a Muslim woman to wear the headscarf. Now, it's not one of the 5 pillars of Islam. So, you know, it's just like, you know, sometimes you see women who say, I'm a Muslim, and they don't have the headscarf on, and then you'll see some that do. It's the same thing like in Christianity when somebody goes to Mass, you know, every day, versus maybe somebody that doesn't go but still says, I'm a Catholic. But I'm not, at the same time, I don't want to diminish a woman who might not wear the headscarf might practice 100 times better than someone who does. So it doesn't necessarily say, oh, because I wear this, I'm a perfect Muslim. It doesn't. So I want to clarify that when you see a Muslim woman who doesn't wear hijab. Now, should she wear hijab? Yes, she should. But we all have our jihad, which that's what jihad means, our struggle to become better. I mean, all of us want to be better, regardless, even if you don't believe in God at all, everybody wants to be a better person. So that's what jihad is, to struggle to be better, to practice better, to follow better. And so I'll hand it over to Marwa now about what it says in Islam about the veil.
Me again. I had prepared already that part, so I'd like to talk to you about the verses in Quran that address that issue, that talk about the veil or the head coat. First of all, the introduction to that topic starts with talking or addressing the men, because I will talk about an important concept that addresses both men and women. That's the core of that's the core behind the head coat. Tell the believing men to lower their gaze from looking at forbidden things and protect their private parts from illegal sexual acts, etc. That is purer for them. Verily, Allah is all aware of what they do. And tell the believing women to lower their gaze, again, same, from looking at forbidden things and protect their private parts, same, from illegal sexual acts, etc., and not to show off their adornment except only that which is apparent. This was interpreted by scholars that what is meant by what is apparent is the hands and the face. Everything else should be covered. And not to and to draw their veils all over their bodies, faces, necks, and bosoms, so that area. The thing behind that term in Arabic, because of course, a lot of things when translated, some of the meaning may be lost, or it can never be as accurate as the original language it was written in. There were a lot of studies about the word that was used in Arabic for a head cover, and it was concluded by scholars that yeah, it was supposed to be a head cover that's already there, but it was like drawn loose like that. So all God said to like update what already has been known in the society at that time is to get the head cover and take it around like that. So you cover the rest of this area. And of course, a lot of scholars are given different meanings, so it's open. It's not one thing. And not to reveal their adornment except to their husbands, their fathers, and the verse goes on to tell the woman who is allowed to see her hair, who's allowed to see her without that specific cover. Okay, in Islam, the whole goal of that is a modest look. It's required by all, men and women. We need to be modest and not show too much. Islam has addressed the head cover only as a tool to complete that modest look, especially for women, which is the core requirement of the veil or the head cover. So, like, you would see that, but it's not correct. You would see, I cannot like put on a head cover and then go out in transparent, very tight top and skinny jeans that show off everything. I'm covered, right? But it's not a modest look, so that wouldn't be right, okay? The purpose of the veil is protection through modesty. Modesty is meant to indicate being righteous. Like, this is like not a symbol. It's not a symbol of me being a Muslim. It's a requirement by God from me. And it's like, I do my role in society to keep it protected. This is one of the tools. Thus avoiding harm. If I'm known to be righteous, I am not inviting harm. Of course, it's not a guarantee for anything. But it's just, it helps keep women stay out of uncomfortable, compromising situations. There's another verse that I'd like to share, which says, O Prophet, tell your wives and your daughters and the women of the believers to draw their cloaks or veils all over their bodies, i.e. screen themselves except the eyes. That will be better. That should be known as free, respectable women, so as not to be annoyed. And Allah is ever out forgiving, most merciful. The question of covering the face or not is like a huge topic with a lot of controversy, so I'm not going to get there. So let's just take the basic of covering the hair. I mean, covering the hair is the one thing that nobody has like misunderstood. It's just the issue of covering the face as well is the one that's under debate, but not the hair. Islam actually is, in general, very concerned with protecting women's bodies and reputation. There's another verse that says that a man who dares to falsely accuse a woman of being of unchastity will be severely punished. So it's not just that; it aims for the protection of the society as a whole. Islam is very much also concerned with protecting, as I said, the unity of family, which is the essence of the society. Modesty helps in making people lower their gazes. I mean, it's a tool that helps, as required by God, and not to make the interaction between both sexes too challenging. Personally, my own experience, I believe it's a requirement of all women. When a woman can take that step is a choice.